Now, recently, the wave of insecurity in the southeast zone of the country has reached an alarming state, that's with incidents of daylight killings. Welcome to Standpoint. I am Precious Amayo. Now, in the last 3 years, the southeast has witnessed a series of attacks from gunmen to the extent that some parts in the region have been described as no-go areas, and that's because of the prevalence of attacks there. But the biggest threat facing the people of Imo State from Orlu local government is the persistence of rampaging gunmen who have been dubbed unknown gunmen. When the threat first reared its head in 2020, with one incident or the other being witnessed every week. Meanwhile, as the spate of insecurity continues, various stakeholders have been trying to weigh in on how best to stop the tide of insecurity. The southeast, particularly Imo State, has witnessed tragic waves of violence which have claimed the lives of hundreds of people, both young and old. Now, joining me on the program is the Attorney General and the Commissioner for Justice, Imo State, Cyprian Akaolisa, as well as Emeka Eze, who is the head of the media team, Udima Orlu Initiative. Good to have you join us.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Also good to have you join us, the Attorney General, Imo State. Let me begin with you, Mr. Akaolisa, because when you look at the situation, some say, and I'm starting generally from the southeast before we narrow, down to Imo State. The recent development is that letter which was sent by Nnamdi Kanu to IPOB saying, look, the sit-at-home order isn't working and isn't helping that region. I want to ask, but because we know that it was Simon Ekpa who said, look, that letter couldn't have been authentic. Just give us an idea on the authenticity of that letter and the impact it has had so far.
Well, I'm not in a position to actually say whether the letter was authentic or not, but I know that the incident of insecurity in the Southeast originated after there were a series of kidnapping, series of armed robbery in the region. And the narrative of herdsmen was introduced into the Southeast dialogue, security dialogue by Nnamdi Kanu. And progressively, a lot of reactions started coming from that increased insecurity. A lot of people were fearing whether there are actually herdsmen coming into Southeast to attack the Southeast, and also herdsmen going to the southwest region of Nigeria. That was what caused. Hello?
I can hear you. Please go ahead.
Yeah, that was what caused the southwestern governors to set up Omoteku as a regional security outfit. The Southeast governors met in Enugu and decided that they were going to set up their own security outfit. And they wanted, all the attorney generals were drafted, all the attorneys general of the states were drafted to do the legal framework for the establishment of our own regional security outfit, which we called Ebubago. We met in Enugu, the attorney generals met in Enugu, met in Owerri, met in Ebonyi State, and designed the outfit. But the National Security Platform, the Inspector General of Police, was not happy with the establishment of regional security outfits and called on us that instead of doing that, the states should set up this community policing. So the governors met and discussed whether to set up community policing. My governor accepted to set up community policing. Community policing meaning taking the vigilante of the various autonomous communities and handing them over for police to train them. It was this community policing that was going on in the Southeast. Our vigilante operatives went to Oji River. They were trained at Oji River, coming back to contend with the insecurity, kidnappers, robbers that were attacking a lot of people in the Southeast. Unfortunately, Nnamdi Kanu came up again with an announcement that there were a lot of influx of herdsmen into the Southeast, and he was now setting up his own ESN as a reaction to that influx of herdsmen. These ESN operatives came into Orlu local government on the eve of the NSAS protests and attacked the police station at Orlu. They killed policemen, burned down the police station, and killed an army man that was on a roadblock at Orlu. They proceeded from that and went to Orlu and killed policemen at Orlu, burned down the mosque at Orlu, and killed the Hazard Fulanis and Hazard traders that had their shares at the back of the stadium at Orlu. That was the beginning of the insecurity.